All right, welcome to case study number 5 of this series, so brilliantly titled Kirk's 40 Case Study Closings. I'm your host, Ryan Kirk, and these case studies range from vacant lots to custom luxury homes and total $2,042,081.71 in profits and equity without having to personally go see the property on some. With no cash, no credit of my own, it varies, and I'll explain. And I do it all with Flip Logic and 1888 Cash Offer. Now let's get into number 5 of the 40 case studies. That brings us to 7624 Malott Street in San Diego, California. What you're going to notice about this right off the bat, if you look at the exterior, it looks like it's in pretty good shape, right? It's looks like the paint's decent. Looks like the windows may be newer vinyl windows. Garage landscape looks okay. And same with the roof. So, overall, this is a very cosmetic rehab just inside of some of little items. And when I say that, I'm talking, maybe countertops, right? Pop and change out countertops, perhaps stain cabinets, changing out hardware, faucets, door handles, drawer pulls on cabinetry, and then some other light landscape in the backyard, and then paint and some flooring. So this is all very minimal cosmetic stuff, and you can see it's in a $650,000 ARV type area. So our cosmetic price per square foot would normally be closer to about $15 a foot. This is $17,000, about $30,000 in repairs. So let's talk about it. Where did the lead come from, or what kind of lead type is it? The lead type, it's an inheritance. So that's what was happening here. One of the family members was staying there at the time, but they inherited the property recently. They were going to list it on the MLS. An agent had gotten a hold of it. It was an agent that we knew, and she referred it over to us, so we got the insight on that. And that's the benefit when you start doing deals in your market, or you start making offers on properties and connecting with agents. You'll be fresh on their mind. You'll be somebody who's unforgettable if you're using the 1888 Cash Offer brand, and so they'll refer you other deals. Like in this case, because agents are out there farming their markets and their neighborhoods constantly for listings and for motivated sellers who want to list. And in this case, she got this lead, very light cosmetic fixer. Called us up, asked us if this would be a property that we're interested in. We ran the numbers, and this is what we came up with. So we came up that it was a cosmetic rehab. There was some value add, right, since it needed light cosmetic work, and there was motivation there. So there was the circumstance, which is they wanted to liquidate it for their estate, and they were looking for a quicker sale. So we comped it out. ARV came out to $655,000. We went with a light cosmetic price per square foot for the estimate on repairs, and that came out to be $30,000. So close to that $15 a square foot. If you're in lower priced ARV type markets, your price per square foot on the cosmetic repairs could be closer to $10 a square foot. This, we're a little bit more expensive in this market, at least in that area there, and so we priced it closer to $15 for cosmetic. And we rounded up and bumped it out to $30,000. We got the seller to agree to sell the property at $511. And of course they wanted more. They always want more, but we got them down to $511 because we knew probably about the best we could sell it at would be about $520. So the seller said yes by law of reciprocity. And how that pitch went is, if Mr. Seller, if we were to pay all cash, pay all the closing costs except any real estate commissions if you have any, but if we pay all cash, pay all closing costs, no commissions, and we did a 10-day inspection, 14-day close, what's the best price you could do? And we tried to get him closer to 500, and the best we could do was get it to about 511. I know that's a peculiar price, 511. I think he had somebody else in mind too who was willing to buy it. I believe it was, and we beat him out by $1,000. We came up to 511. And that sometimes happens. They'll post it on Craigslist, trying to make an effort to get some offers on their own. And there was somebody interested. And so the real key to getting deals under contract is, if you wind up in that situation, you don't want to be passive. You don't want to just put in an offer and wait for a counter. And this is a prime example, because if you were to say, hey, we're willing to, what's your best price? He says, 520, 515. You say, well, if we were to pay all cash, pay all closing costs, close in that 14 days, and we were to offer 500, is that an offer that you would be willing to accept and move forward on today? And they may say, no, it's not going to happen. We'll let you know. We already have a higher offer than that. Don't leave it at that. You always want to follow it up with, well, what will work for you? And of course, you'd say, well, we do have a higher offer. Well, what's that higher offer? And he may say, well, we have a higher offer at 510. To which you can reply, all right, listen, if we were to come up to 511, is that a number that you can agree upon here and now, so we can move forward and open up escrow today? And then at that point, that's when the seller can go, yeah, if you were to come up to 511, you'd be the highest offer. We'd be willing to take that, here and now. And you could say, great, all right, so then we have a deal at 511 then. To which the seller would reply, yes, yeah, we've got a deal. So you can say, great, we're going to go ahead, get you over the proof of funds, get the offer written up, get it over to you, and we'll go ahead and get that approved today and open up escrow today or tomorrow. So that's the trick. The trick is to always ABC, always be closing, always trying to come to a verbal agreement and then follow it up with a written offer. Because that verbal agreement is that meeting of the minds, is that you closing the gap between maybe what he's asking, what you need, what you want to offer, and then if he doesn't roll over right at that 500, well, what number will work for you, Mr. Seller? This number will work for me, Mr. Investor. Then you can say, well, you know what, that's still too high. That's not going to work for us. What if I came up to this? If I were to come up, I'm not saying I am, but if I were, is that something you and I can agree upon to move forward here and now, today? You want to get them to say yes. And if he says yes, you can say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get that written up, get it over to you. So we have a deal then. Yes, we have a deal. And then you can get it over to him, and now you've beat out the competition or anybody else who's at the deal. So that's the trick. You want to get that verbal agreement. So our investor came from a marketing blast, and our marketing blast is something that you can do and execute right in FlipLogic. You can run an instant cash buyer lead search, and then you can do a marketing blast to those cash buyers in the area. So we were able to blast it at 520, and our profit on the deal was $9,000. We put it under contract and we assigned it to our cash buyer. They closed all cash. They actually may have gotten a hard money loan. So it's basically the same thing. All cash is definitely better, but it's the same thing to the seller. If they use hard money, it's just maybe it takes them a little longer. Maybe you are going to use the whole 14 days. If they close all cash, sometimes you'll end up closing in 7 days or 10 days. But if they use hard money, it'll typically might take that whole 14-day period. But that's it. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. And statistically, only 10% of YouTube videos are watched until the end. So if you're in that 10%, you're definitely a hustler. You're persistent, determined to succeed, and I do wish you much success. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with you soon.